Welcome back to Tangible Wellness, the podcast where I meet you exactly where you are. And today's conversation might challenge your perspective around nutrition, because nutrition isn't just about calories in versus calories out. It's providing your body with the nutrients that it absolutely needs. Now, to be clear, we may have not have been lied to as much as we have oversimplified nutrition. So while energy balance matters, modern research shows that food quality, nutrient density, and metabolic health play a critical role in long-term outcomes, not just calories alone. So let me ask you a question. If I were to take you and drop you off in the middle of the wilderness all on your own, with no food or access to food, how would you survive? What would you go and search for? Now, we all know that we wouldn't be looking for packaged food. We wouldn't have a choice. We would be searching for meat, fruit, or an available source of food, whole food. Now, I know that's a drastic example, but I would just want you to think about what we're biologically designed to go towards. Now, where did we miss the mark with nutrition? Over the last 50 years, nutrition has become heavily focused on calories and convenience, while food quality has declined. And research has shown, a large body of research shows that diets high in ultra-processed foods are strongly associated with obesity, metabolic disease, and increased calorie intake, even when calories aren't intentionally increased. Ultra-processed foods are designed to be hyperpalatable, which overrides our natural hunger signals. In another study, participants eating ultra-processed diets consumed about 500 more calories per day compared to whole food diets without even trying. So this isn't about willpower. It's about environment and food design. And today, with more than 70% U.S. adults are in the category of either obese or overweight, and metabolic dysfunction is becoming even more common. And what this suggests is that our current understanding of nutrition is not supporting our long-term health. Now, this is a concept that I like to help people understand, my clients or just people in general. Your body has biological needs just like we have emotional needs. Now, if you are in a relationship with your partner and you express something that you need emotionally, and that need is not met, it generally is going to lead to some sort of relational tension. And that tension builds over time into resentment and bitterness, and eventually detachment and even detrimental results. Our body does the same thing. Signals or cravings for us to fulfill a need that it has. And this is what we like to call our biological needs. And also, we have our basic needs of survival. Do we have shelter? Do we have food? Do we have water? Etc. Our body has the same things on a cellular level. And cellularly, to make it simple for you to understand, is that our body needs protein, fiber, and fat. Those are the common nutrients that our body needs in order for it to survive. Now, of course, can you just eat anything and be somewhat okay? Yes, but we're talking about health here. Health is about your quality of life. Quality of life comes from the quality of your choices. To back this up with research, hunger and appetite are regulated by hormones like ghrelin and leptin, which are directly influenced by nutrient intake, sleep, and stress. When we ignore or override these signals, your regulation breaks down. Cravings are not random. According to research, while cravings aren't always tied to a single deficiency, research shows that inadequate protein, low fiber intake, dehydration, and blood sugar instability can all increase cravings and appetite. The three things that I just mentioned above, protein, fiber, and fat, are all listed in research as key indicators when they are deficient signal cravings. Protein and fiber are especially powerful for this because higher protein intake has been shown in research to reduce hunger and increase satiety hormones like ghrelin and leptin. Fiber actually slows down digestion and improves blood sugar control, helping regulate your appetite. So instead of fighting your body, you learn to respond to it more effectively. Now, how do we actually make these things a priority in our day-to-day lives? The same way that you would manage a budget. So your budget, the common formula for managing your budget is understanding your needs, your wants, and your savings, right? We're going to take savings out of this equation. Needs versus wants. Our needs we're going to use as protein, fiber, and essential fats. Your wants are going to be convenient, ultra-processed foods. Now, understanding the difference between your wants and your needs can help you to make more effective and controlled decisions around your diet. So what I like to always use with my clients in my coaching sessions is this exact question. Does this food choice fit my needs or my wants? And that's going to be based on whether you are shooting for an outcome-based goal or you're trying to build a healthier lifestyle. When you're trying to live a healthier lifestyle, it is I am a person who takes care of my body, versus an outcome is I am trying to lose 20 pounds for an intended result. I'm trying to lower my blood sugar, or I'm trying to lower, etc. When we are going towards an outcome-based goal, we'll use that as an example. Is this choice that I'm about to make does it fit the need of me getting to this outcome? Or does this choice fit the need of me living a healthier lifestyle? By asking this question, it helps you to overcome your cravings, overcome your wants, and put your needs first. Because when you get your paycheck, what do you generally do with it first? Do you go buy the shoes that you want, or do you pay your bills first? 9 times out of 10, the common answer is I pay my bills first because it is a need. This isn't to say that you can't have your wants. It's first about acknowledging what you need first before going towards your wants. This helps give us more self-confidence, more self-discipline, in order for us to stick to the goals that are more meaningful to us. And research shows that decision-making improves when people use simple frameworks, like categorizing choices into needs versus wants, rather than relying on restriction alone. This mindset and this concept reduces decision fatigue and increases consistency over time. This is not about eliminating the things that you want. It's prioritizing your needs first. Now let's break down why our essential nutrients are going to come from protein, fiber, and fat. Protein is essential for muscle protein synthesis. Muscle protein synthesis is what helps to enhance the longevity of your skeletal muscle. Your skeletal muscle is your longevity organ, and research shows that a higher protein diet is associated with improved body composition, increased satiety, and better metabolic health. Muscle mass is one of the strongest predictors of longevity and disease prevention. Also, protein has a thermic effect of about 20 to 30%, meaning your body uses more energy to digest it compared to carbs or fats. There is a great book called Forever Strong by Dr. Gabriel Lyon. And in this book, there's actually a research article that shows that when humans consume around 800 calories worth of protein, this was a study that was conducted in the book, that when humans consumed around 800 calories of protein, or 200 grams per day, the amount that you need per day is dependent upon your height, your weight. In this study, people who consumed 200 grams per day burned around 160 to 240 more calories per day just consuming enough protein. So imagine if you combine healthy amounts of activity, the right amount of protein in your diet, you can burn a sustainable amount of calories. Fat. Why is fat essential for our diet? Because fat has been deemed bad for so long, but it's not. Fat is essential for brain health, hormone production, and nutrient absorption. Dietary fat is actually critical for the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, K, and E. And healthy fats like monounsaturated and omega-3s are linked to reduce inflammation and improved heart health. Also, healthy amounts of DHA have been shown to improve working memory. And so if you want to prevent diseases or conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia, consuming more healthy quality fats and taking things like fish oil or DHA can drastically improve working memory. Now, fiber. Fiber is not just carbohydrates or a powder. In today's society, now we're hearing instead of fat being deemed bad, we're looking at carbs as being deemed bad. When none of these nutrients are bad at all. All of these nutrients are essential, but in the right context and quantities. While there is no essential requirement for carbohydrates, fiber-rich carbohydrates provide significant benefits to our gut health, blood sugar, and long-term disease prevention. Studies show that Higher fiber intake is consistently associated with lower risk of heart disease, diabetes, and all-cause mortality. So what does this say about nutrition? Nutrition is not about restriction whatsoever. And for so long, we have seen across social media and other platforms that nutrition or health is about restriction and punishing ourselves to somewhat get to a good-looking body, when in reality, health is not determined by how you look. Health is determined by how you feel, your blood work, and your quality of life. Sustainable change comes from our behavior, not extremes. Research consistently shows that highly restrictive diets are difficult to maintain long-term and often lead to weight regain. What I want to challenge you with is I want you to think about who you are and what you want from this life. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to build a healthier lifestyle. And I think what people get stuck in is they start chasing the goalpost every single year. I didn't lose the weight this year, I'm going to try again next year. I didn't do the thing, so I'm going to try again this next time. And health becomes this rabbit chase, when in reality, it's about changing our identity and our perspective of how we look at nutrition as a whole. Behavior change is more sustainable when it aligns with your identity. When a person sees himself as a healthy person instead of someone who's just on a diet. This is the concept of consistency over perfection. Small, consistent changes outperform extreme, short-term effects in long-term health outcomes. So let's make this concept work for you. There is no such thing as the best diet. Successful nutrition plans are plans that people can adhere to consistently. So what actually works when it comes to building out your meal plan or your nutrition plan? Prioritize your needs over your wants. Go for protein, fiber, and fat first before considering the things that you want. Build your meals around whole foods more often. There's concepts of the 80-20 or the 90-10 rule. 80-20 meaning 80% of my meals or my choices are going to be whole foods based. 20% is where I give myself grace. Same thing for the 90-10. You're just shifting it up a little bit depending on your priorities. Adjust your intake based on your goals. What are you working towards? Are you trying to get to an outcome, or are you trying to build a lifestyle around this? Keep it simple and repeatable. In my life, I do the same things according to my budget, my plans, and my goals. I can't afford the highest quality food out there, but I make the best possible choices that I can for me. That's what I would advocate for you to do as well. Let go of the all or nothing and ask yourself, what can I do instead of what can't I do? Even the modest improvements. Studies have shown that even the modest improvements in diet quality can significantly improve metabolic health over time. Again, a healthy lifestyle is not about perfection or restriction. It's about awareness, intention, and consistency. And every choice that you make is either supporting your long-term health or working against it. You do not have to make all the changes today. Start small, build momentum, and create a way of eating that actually works for your life. Because again, nutrition does not have to be complicated. It just has to be intentional. You do not have to make these perfect choices or these perfect meal plans. You can enjoy foods such as pizza or processed foods, but it's about doing it in a way that actually is meaningful for you. These foods were not designed to be eaten consistently. They were designed to be eaten in moderation. Whole foods are biologically designed for us to consume. Ultra-processed foods are luxurious items. So if there's anything that you can take away from today, is that you don't have to have the perfect diet, but all you have to do is start by fulfilling your needs first. Start with a portion of protein on your plate. One extra vegetable. Instead of snacking on a bag of chips, go for a protein bar. It's the small shifts that make the biggest difference in the long run. And if you have questions or if you need help with adjusting your nutrition plan, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this podcast and take a few minutes out of your day to learn something about nutrition. Please share your comments below. I'd love to interact with you and hear your thoughts around this concept. And I hope that all of you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I look forward to talking to you again in my next episode.